Alright, so when you're starting out as a designer, it's pretty hard to actually navigate what's the best way to move forward. So with these 5 tips I'm about to share with you, they're things that I've personally discovered over the past few years of actually being a creative entrepreneur and a designer, and hopefully they're validated enough to actually help you guys level up in your design career. Hey everyone, Ryan from Pitchproof here, and welcome back to the channel where we teach you how to level up as a designer with new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips with you that I wish I knew when I began my career as a designer. Let's begin. Alright, let's start with number 1. Number 1 is good design doesn't make you a good designer. And what I mean by that is design is solving problems visually. Now, you've probably heard this quote online. It's been said in a lot of different ways. But if you ask basically any successful designer out there, they'll probably give you a very similar answer. The thing that separates an amateur designer from a very good designer is that they understand the difference. That design isn't just about making something look pretty, it's actually solving a problem. Alright, let's diagnose this a little bit further and separate the two and actually understand what's the difference between a designer and someone who can design. So a designer understands that design is problem solving. So being a designer is solving problems. The designing part, the designing itself, is the visual aspect. That's pushing the pixels in Illustrator or After Effects or Photoshop and actually making it look pretty and making it actually something we can see. Alright, number 2 is designing and being a designer are different things altogether. Now this couldn't be more true. Let me explain. Design is the output. So that's producing a logo, that's producing a website, that's creating a flyer, UI, UX design, whatever it is. Design is the output. Being a designer is that whole process. Now let's actually dive in real quick and take a look at what the difference is between the two. So we've got a little chart here. Under design, we can have things like I mentioned, it's the output. It can be things like color, typography. There's so many different things. Comic Sans, I don't know, that's a type. That's the design part of it. Then there's the designer side, which is the actual process. So this is things like getting feedback and receiving criticism. It's meeting deadlines. It's project management. It's client communications. All the actual stuff that you need to do as a designer and is less of the design goes under this right hand side. So if you merge those two together and you're really good at design and you're really good at being a designer, that's when you actually create some real magic. Alright, tip number 3 is think like a business person. Now it doesn't matter if you're a freelance designer, which means you are the business person, or even if you're employed, I still want you to try to think as a business person. And you'll start to become more aware of the actual issues and problems that you're actually solving. You'll start to change your mindset from, hey, I need to design a logo, and actually asking more meaningful questions such as, how will this design project help my client's business? Because 99% of the time, someone isn't coming to you as a freelancer or an employed designer asking for something just to look good. They're trying to solve an issue in their business. They want something done for a reason to actually help their business. That's why they're going to give you money to do that. So as I mentioned, as you start to switch your mindset from becoming a bit more of a business person, what you'll start to become is more aware of actually what you're designing. So let's do a couple of examples here. Number 1, you're not designing a website. You're designing a solution to generate sales. So there's what you're designing and then there's the actual solution. Another example is you're not designing a logo. You're designing a solution to building brand awareness. These are things that actually businesses care about. Not all businesses are going to care what their logo actually looks like. They're actually going to care about what it does for their business. So yeah, like I mentioned, be a little bit more business orientated. Alright, number 4 is solve the problem first, then add your magic. You got to realize as a designer, you're solving problems. You're not just a designer. You're not meant to make things look pretty. Your job is to solve a problem. Once you change that mindset, amazing things can happen. So you want to figure out the problem you're solving first at the start of each project, then you can make it pretty. And this is how people sell strategy and consultancy as a designer. You can actually make more money by showing your process and documenting that process of you solving a business problem. And then after you solve their problem, that's where you can make it the logo. That's where you can make the website. But it's really important to understand the framework and what you're actually doing before you even begin a project. All right, number 5 and the last one is the people you know make you grow. And yes, I know it rhymes, but you've probably heard this one a lot more before. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'm here to tell you that could not be more true. You can be the best designer in the world, like the absolute best, but if no one knows who you are, that's pointless. Compared to someone who's got hundreds of connections and know every single business person in their local town, they're more likely to get design work over you simply because they're made known to people. People know that who they are, people trust them, people will work with them. So there you go, guys. There's 5 tips from me on things that I wish I knew when I started as a designer. If you guys want more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the channel. You can also follow us on Instagram at Pitchproof for daily content and daily advice. And if you're interested in monetizing your creative community online, I highly recommend you check out our virtual bootcamp, just at the link on the screen here. It's a 6-week program designed to pay for itself. So if you're starting to build a bit of a creative audience online and you're ready to monetize that, I highly recommend you check it out. All right, that's it from me. I'll see you guys next time.